We bring to you our manager, Bruce Bochy. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. It's good to see you guys here in Surprise.
Absolutely. We've already got a chance to talk with a bunch of guys in Clubhouse and stuff, and they've been fantastic. One of the people we haven't talked to yet is Joc Berger, and I know one of the things you said about Joc Berger is he's got a really good arm, which I think a lot of people maybe don't think about when they consider first base. How important is that, or how much of an advantage does that potentially give him?
Oh, I think it's a huge advantage. You know, with Jake being a third baseman, yeah, he's got something to throw with, and he's already shown that. Yeah, you know, when you get a ground ball at first base, you know, if you don't have the arm, you may not throw it to second, but he comes up firing or throwing to home or third base on a bunt, things like that. The arm plays a bigger part than you think. Because a lot of first basemen are there because they don't throw well.
Right.
Now, but he's there because of Josh Young, and so to have a first baseman that can do some things with the arm, yeah, I think it's a huge advantage.
You know, there's a lot of times you look at your team, you can't have everything. You know, you can't have all the things that you want on a team, but maybe if you're really good at these things, you can be really good that year. What is it that you really think this team? We can be really good at these things this year.
Well,
or are we good at everything already?
Well, I mean, every team's going to have an area that they think they need to improve, and I think you look at this club right now. It's not that we need to improve, but the bullpen will have to get sorted out. We don't have any defined roles, but we have guys that can handle high leverage situations. But as much as anything, I think that's different with this club is our offense. I think we're going to get back to slugging, better than what we did last year. I think we'll be better fastball hitters than what we did last year. I think this has the makings of a really good rotation. I really do. And knock on wood, all stay healthy, but and we have depth there too. So it's going to be competitive on a couple spots, especially in the bullpen, as far as how we decide to go with the pitching. Our defense should be good. I think Jake has the makings of being a really good first baseman. The thing I like about what's happening with Jake this year, he's a first baseman, and he's only going to focus at first base, where in the past he's played third, maybe even a game or two at second, and then go to first. But now he's got 6 weeks to just concentrate on first base, and I've already seen improvement from him, and so I'm kind of excited, to watch his defense. But around the horn, of course, in the outfield, I think we have the makings of a very good defensive team. Now, Doley has taken upon himself to really get in tremendous shape. I just see a different hop to him when he's running. We got to get him back to being the Gold Glover that he is, and so that's going to be fun to watch. Carter, having him back, and Leo in center field. We got speed there, and of course we saw Wyatt, and Wyatt just got better and better. So should be a good defensive team, a very strong rotation. And I'm a pitching-centric guy, and that's what wins championships, I think. But we did it with slugs. Sure, I get it in 23, but it's just going to be important that these pitchers give us a chance to win a game on a consistent basis.
Your first meeting in 23, we had Derek Holland on the show, and Colby Lewis came on. I later talked to Michael Young, and they're like, look, I haven't really wanted to play baseball since I retired, but that first meeting with the team here as you're the manager of the Texas Ranger was an awesome meeting according to those guys that were special assistants. Like, it was great. And I don't know how the meeting went last year, and now this year's your third year. Do you have a different message being the first-year manager, then coming off of a World Series, and now coming off of a year where you guys didn't play above 500? Or
yeah, every message is probably a little different. I talked a little bit about, I told them about a team that, I knew about, and this team was just loaded with incredible talent that was on a very important mission. That was to win the World Series, and I went on. And then I just said, I guess you guys know I'm talking about us. And so, we got to, get back to who we are. And, And for that to happen, you talk about some things that we need to get better at, things we need to work on, and how important these 6 weeks are. A lot of people look at spring training as can be long, but we need to look at these 6 weeks as we need this time to get to where we want to be when that bell rings. And so anyway, yeah, I try to vary, change it up a little bit, but the biggest message is to let them know how good they are and how special that they can be, and don't forget that, because we got to hit the field with that swagger that we used to.
You talked about the bullpen and maybe not having the defined roles just yet. I'm curious your thoughts going into the season. Can you just have a group that's like, these are the high leverage guys, or do you feel more comfortable knowing that more often than not, this is the 7th, this is the 8th, this is the 9th, or like, how's your basic bullpen philosophy there?
It's just critical for a manager to adjust to his team. How you play, whether it's offensively, small ball, or do you sit back a little bit more? The same with the pitching, the starters, you let them go deep or you want to cover them. And with the bullpen, I mean, sure, everybody would like to have that set closer. But, if you don't, then it's up to myself and Mike to adjust to them. And so, with the game, it's changed a little bit where you have to face 3 hitters. So now pockets are talked about a lot. So, I think we have the righties and lefties that we can, get them in a pocket to where, we think, they have a really good chance of succeeding. That's our job. And so it's going to be nice to, have a nice mix down there. We signed Jackson, for example. He can spin it very well. A young guy like Robert Garcia, he's a power arm, good changeup. Whether he's in the 7th, 8th, or maybe the 9th inning, depending on who's coming up. So it'll be a matchup thing a lot right now. Now you don't know if that's going to evolve into having defined roles with how they're throwing, and so that's where you adjust too. I mean, last year, we started out okay, Robertson, Yates, but we ended up having Robertson being kind of the stopper and the fireman there, and pitching the 8th and Yates in the 9th, and man, what a job they did. So we're hoping that something like that happens for us this year.
This team seems like a lot of clean cut. Everything's really nice and even keel with these guys. I know Austin Hedges had a great personality, and it helped around that clubhouse. We had a former player once say, "No, Boch likes some degenerates on the team too every once in a while." It is a delicate balance, though, getting that group together. When you add like a Joc and a Jake, are those different personalities that are going to kind of pop in that clubhouse?
Oh, I think so. I think without question. I've seen it already. Yeah, I call him the cat in the hat, Joc Pederson, the beanie he wears out there. And I want these guys to be themselves. I want that personality to come out. And, we have some guys that just, they're going to even kill. And as we saw, that works in the postseason. Nobody got too high or, too low. And but, it's good to have the guys that keep the other guys loose, have fun. And Joc's certainly that. I tell you, he's a character, and Berger's the same way. He has fun. In fact, Berger he kind of reminds me a little bit of like Josh Young. They're baseball rats. They don't golf, they don't do anything. It's baseball with them, and that's where their focus is. And so I think he's going to be a nice piece on his team with how he carries himself, how he plays.
Rocker's pitching today. If you're completely healthy, which is the hope coming out of spring training, can he make the team?
Well, yeah, I think you see where you're at and see how guys are throwing. I think you have to be open-minded with the decisions you make, because we want to break with the best club, and so we feel that he's one of our best. Yeah, I know CY feels the same, and so we're not ruling anything out with he or Leiter. They're starters, and like I said, you don't know if breaking camp. We might, if we think a guy needs a little bit more time, or we need to give somebody some rest, or we just think he's better than the other guy, then yeah, we'll go with him.
How much lineup shuffling will there be during spring training? I mean, specifically the major leaguers. I know a lot of other players you'll see as well. How much lineup shuffling will we see in order to lock in that lineup, especially the number 3 hole going into the start of the regular season?
Yeah, you'll see a lot. But I tell the guys, don't get caught up to when you're hitting. I mean, spring training, sometimes you put them at the top of the order so you can get that other at bat. But also take a look at it, see what you think. As far as the heart of the order, we got some flexibility there. So, Wyatt, obviously, he should be ready in about 10 days. So that's why you're not seeing him.
10 days from now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We think he'll be game ready. But when you're looking at Berger, Young, very similar type guys, can do damage. Dolly, we get him back, But I can't say that Dolly's going to be our cleanup hitter. He's been told that. It's not like right now he's been pretty much hitting in that 4 holes. So but when we break camp and see where these guys are offensively, that'll help decide what we end up doing. The back end of our order, to me, is really important. That we need to get those guys on for the top of the order. We saw the success we had in 23, so that's going to be important to have guys down there who can find a way to get on base.
All right, so I've never really forgiven Kevin Pillar for what happened up in Toronto because he was one of those guys that just makes plays against the Rangers back in the day, and I was like, oh, it's frustrating. But we forgave you after you beat us in the World Series, so it's okay. Do you have an idea plan for him? Because we're trying to figure out kind of what is the plan for Pillar, right-handed outfield bat.
Yeah, and that's what he is. I'm going to try to give him as many at-bats as I can off lefties here this spring. He's getting here late. He is going to get a couple of bats today, at least one. And so he'll be playing some center, some right, left field. We'll move him around. We'll see where we're at as we break camp, obviously. He has said, hey, I'll go to AAA. He just wants to get back on the field. So this isn't where he's got to make the club or else. And we're not going to use that on him. We think we need him because lefties have given us trouble, and obviously, we're trying to get Carter at bats off lefties. Leo, that's been be honest, an issue for him. So that he does provide us a little bit more of a threat from the right side against lefties.
So, Boch, I know you're a fan of sports. The 4 Nations Hockey All-Star break was awesome, especially Canada versus the United States. Do you think that could happen in Major League Baseball where they would take a week off and say Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you have USA, Japan, Dominican Republic, and Venezuela play each play a game each day, and then on Saturday you have a championship game to really, I think baseball fans would love that.
Oh, I like it. I didn't think about it. I like it, yeah. I think the fans would love it. I think the players would love it. It breaks it up. You play 162 games,
right.
So, to change it up a little bit, yeah, shoot, I think I'd like it now that you brought it up, Mike. So, but that was exciting. Now, Jordan Teague's our bullpen coaches from Canada, so we let them have it when we beat them.
And then,
when they beat us, here he has Canadian jersey on, and he was proud, and as he should have been. And so we had a lot of fun with it. And a lot of us aren't hockey fans, but we watched it. We got into it.
Man, outstanding stuff. We appreciate it. We love talking with you every single week. Thank you very much for the time and for popping up with us.
Hey, guys, always great talking with you.
Go get Rangers, right?
For having me on.
Go get Rangers.
Go get Rangers.
Yes, I'm the person who said that, unfortunately.